Hi Aquarius, happy October. Welcome to your October love and career reading. Before we start the reading, don't forget to give this video a like, hit the share button and share it with your friends, and also make sure you subscribe and comment, and you share a bit of your story and a bit of your month in the comment section down below, okay? So let's not wait any longer. Let's just transition into love and romance. Okay, Aquarius, so the overall energy you have for yourself in love this month is strength. That's beautiful. You're overcoming something. Overcoming difficulties. Overcoming bad habits and patterns. Overcoming loops. You know, patterns, emotional patterns. Overcoming emotional rifts. And truly overcoming it, in the sense that it doesn't control you anymore. So something that used to control you a lot in love is no longer controlling you anymore in October 2020. Whether this is strength for compassion or strength for, you know, for just love. And this could also be involving a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, right? Because the King of Cups is a person. So this could be involving a particular person in general. But either way, it's still a major lesson you're learning. So the first thing you're going to be focused on is the King of Wands. Some of you guys are with a fire sign or a water sign. Or this person could be, it could be one person, it could be both signs. Or it could be one, you know, two people and they're each these two signs. Or it could just be the energy around you in love. So there is someone around you, I'm definitely seeing here, that has been here. So this is someone who's been here, Aquarius. And they're still showing up here, okay? There's something very, it's almost like they really want to reiterate to me how the Knight of Pentacles energy of being dependable, not necessarily reliable as like an old workhorse, but in the sense that you can kind of track someone's patterns. So this is someone who you've been around for a long time, okay? And what's happening here is that there's trust. You're having more trust, or there's a leap of faith being taken either by one or both of you guys, where one or both of you guys is deciding to trust more in the situation and take a leap of faith with the World here to conclude a cycle in this relationship. That's really beautiful. This is positive. The World and the Fool. A beginning and an end. But it's almost like whatever this ending was, it was like an ending to something that was stressful with the Ten of Wands. So it was something that was stressful, and now it's beginning something brand new, because this ending is a new beginning. And there's a lot of optimism surrounding. So even if this is just a person, this person is very optimistic, or you feel very optimistic about them, or their energy is just optimistic. They got a King of Wands energy about them. So what they want to tell me about them is justice reverse. I feel like some of you guys may feel like this person may not be just with you, or you may feel like this person is being unjust. Now they want to draw my attention to the Justice card being reversed, and they're like, don't worry about any injustices happening. You know, just trust your gut and trust your intuition. Ow, my back. Oh. Some of you guys may feel like this person may have done you an injustice, or you feel like this person will do you an injustice, something along those lines. And it's something, it's very emotional, something you really can't really shake off. So, I don't know, I feel like you need to just trust your gut, honestly. But that doesn't mean you need to act out and do anything and make any changes. Just trust your gut and act accordingly, move slower, you know, protect yourself, make sure you're safe. But, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe you're not right. Whatever this is, whatever this injustice is that you're feeling around this person, there's something very faded around it. Because I kept seeing the Wheel of Fortune. So there's something very faded around it. And with the Wheel of Fortune, this is a blessing in disguise, whatever it is that's happening around this person. But there's a conclusion of a cycle. It's actually really positive. There's trust happening, but there's still a little bit of, I want to say, mistrust because of injustice. Okay, so that's the first part of love that you're going to be focusing on, or that's one area. Let's have a look at another area in October 2020 that Aquarius is going to be focused on, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so there's events happening, there's new beginnings happening, there's blessings in disguise happening, there's fated events, there's just things that are happening. It feels like there are events occurring in your love life. Okay, so the Three of Wands reverse, I feel like some of you guys may not believe that this is coming, but there is something coming. Okay, there's something that's on the way that's actually really abundant and lucky. The Ten of Wands reverse, I like seeing the Ten of Wands reverse because it talks about usually it talks about a weight coming off your back. Usually it talks about, you know, letting go of a heavy burden. Okay, and whatever this fated time, there's some sort of fated event happening in your love life that unburdens you, and it unburdens you through judgment. So there is a judgment that needs to be made, a truth that needs to be come to within yourself. Okay, and with the Chariot showing up, it needs to be a decision to choose victory, to choose to overcome. Wow, or choose your success. Choose to overcome, right? So there's something fated happening here. They're not telling me much about it, just a fated event. And it's a fated event surrounding around victory. And with death here, there's an energy of things not being the same, and there's also an energy of change. I almost want to get off of this. I do want to pull one more card just because I want to make sure I'm not just moving away from it, and I want to make sure I'm getting everything that Spirit's trying to tell me. So we have the Hermit reversed. Okay, so Spirit, apparently I'm not getting everything Spirit's trying to tell me. So okay, what they're trying to tell me is positive changes in love. Okay, that makes so much sense. You guys, there's a very positive change happening in love, and that's amazing that they didn't want to leave. That they didn't want me to leave without really stressing that, and to have faith, okay? Because I'm worrying. I'm like, what is this? You know, like, and I feel like some of you guys are kind of like on edge too, or you kind of like have had some things happen in the past that may have kind of triggered you, or may have kind of left you a little traumatized. That you may feel like, you know, I don't know if I could trust it, but this feels really good. They want to really reiterate that this is very positive. It's not the sort of Wheel of Fortune event that almost is very shaky and frightening. It's very positive. Okay, Spirit's got nothing but love for you, Aquarius. Alright. So, but there is a judgment being made, okay? And this judgment drops a heavy burden. So, the main thing for me, the main thing I'm mainly getting, or the main thing that I'm the most excited about this part of is the positive changes in love, because they are promising that they are very positive and they are really exciting. But what I really like the most is the fact that a weight will be like shed, and it feels like it's something that has been very much of a burden and very overwhelming and like just like so stressful, and finally you're gonna like let go of that stress and like be happy. Like, it's not like you're letting go of a stress and you're rebuilding. You're letting go of a stress and you're being so happy and filled with all this faith and love and light and all this joy. This is amazing. The sun, look at that, amazing. All right, so let's get a look at the final area, Aquarius. I'm glad. I like how I'm doing it this way. I'm doing it air signs. Well, first I did fire signs, air signs, earth signs, and water signs. So each day will be a different element. That's what I'm shooting for. All right, so what is the final thing that Aquarius you're going to be focused upon in October 2020 when it comes to love? And we have the Seven of Swords reversed. So something may be revealed, or you may have a secret in you, or there may be a secret that someone is running away from in a love relationship. Okay, so there's something here, something buried. It feels like there's something secretive in here, you know? The Four of Swords. There's something secretive that honestly might not even allow you to enjoy the moment fully. Okay? Or it could also feel like some of you guys could feel like there is something secretive in your relationship. Something, if you're in a love relationship, you may think your person is kind of sneaking around a little bit, and you may want that to come out. The Hermit reversed. Okay, so that's what the, okay, that's how we're doing it this time now. All right, so the Devil. Oh, so a lot of you guys, you need to understand that whatever this is here, this Seven of Swords energy is here, it's not healthy. It's codependent, and it's very unhealthy. And also there's an element of untruth surrounding it as well. So there might also not even be really anything of substance in fears or in your worries, but it's almost like this is an addiction. It's almost an addiction to think this way or to feel this way. Tell me a little more about the Seven of Swords reversed. The Two of Wands reversed. So I feel like whatever this energy is of maybe mistrust, it actually protects you from expanding more in relationships or expanding more in love. But it's actually unhealthy, because whatever this is here that you're thinking is something that you need to worry about, it's overly expressed, it's overly internalized, in the sense that it's not healthy. It's not, so it's not really serving you, and it's only happening this way, and you may only really feel this way because of some sort of deep-rooted habit or trauma or fear, the deep-rooted fear. And also a not understanding as well. But there's a fear here. And the Devil showing up, I mean, I don't know. I don't know to label it. I don't know, because I know you're like, well, is it bad? Is it good? I don't know how to label this, because it feels like sometimes your fears are trying to tell you something, you know? Sometimes your fears are trying to tell you something, but this feels like something that's rather unnecessary. Okay, now I'm not going to tell you that all your fears are unnecessary, because sometimes it's necessary to, you know, heed your when your gut's kicking you, you know. Sometimes that's really important. That's always really, not sometimes, always important to listen to. But this feels like something that is not real, and it's not from you, and it's not from your intuition. It's just like something you do, you know, and it comes from codependency. It comes from fear. All right. I don't know if they want to leave you like that. They don't typically like to leave people like that. I want to know if they have anything else they have to say. And the Nine of Cups, you're saying don't worry. Be happy, okay? Just focus on the things that you do want. And remember what it is that you want. Because notice these two nines, and then the Magician is underlying. Because there's an element of manifestation that's happening here, right? Don't worry, you're not manifesting the thing that you don't want. So we have the Nine of Cups. These are things that you desire, right? And these are these are things that will personally make you happy. And then we have the Nine of Swords. These are things that will personally be a nightmare. So what you're doing is you're internalizing your personal nightmares, while you're not realizing that you have all these wishes, and that the reason why this is unnecessary fears is because you've already made these wishes, and these wishes are coming true. And because these wishes are coming true, these fears cannot come true. So this cannot happen, because you already, the thing that's really going for you is the Nine of Cups, because it's completely upright. You're manifesting what you truly desire. So your fears of all these things that you're fearful of, they cannot happen, because you cannot manifest that, because you're trying to manifest something that is the exact opposite of that would counteract that. So it wouldn't even work. So you don't have to worry about that ever happening, right? But I also think that there's an aspect of this that does want healing. So, feel free to do the healing the way you know how to heal. But I think that this does require some attention, Aquarius, because there is kind of like a chain attached to you and this. All right. Okay, Aquarius, that is the reading for you guys for love and romance in October 2020. It's going to be a beautiful month. It already feels like really beautiful energy. It's so different. I've never done readings like these before. Not for a while. I mean, I'm sure I have done maybe a month or two like this, but this is the longest time since it's been so positive across the board, right? And that's you guys' energy. And you could even see that in the polls, how everything is so much more positive in the collective. All right. So once again, this is the end of the love reading. Now we're going to shift gears into our career and our financial sectors, Aquarius. But before we do that, we're going to take a very short break. Please enjoy these videos from our sponsors. And after that, we'll be right back. Okay, let's begin. Okay, Aquarius, so let's have a look at the overall energy first and foremost. And the overall energy we have for you guys is the Ten of Swords reversed. That's positive. That's the only time I ever want to see the Ten of Air in my life, is when it's reversed. So this is coming out of a really tough time mentally when it comes to your financial and your career endeavors. You have had a very tough time. And I feel like a lot of you guys are saying goodbye to that. You're getting ready to say goodbye to that. That stuff's packing up and moving out of your life. But it was very difficult, okay? I also think some of you guys are processing this as well. So, you know, taking stock and looking back and realizing that things were so much harder before, or all the things that you traversed to get to this point now. Some of you guys are overcoming like job loss, and now you've gotten a new job and you're doing good again, and you're, you know, able to sustain yourself again. And now you're looking back and looking at how tough things were. I think you may have had a really tough time in your finances, or you may have taken some losses, or you may have recently, you know, just looked back at in the recent months or recent years. So we have the Page of Cups, the Three of Swords, and we have the Four of Pentacles. So a lot of you guys also may have come from like limited or strained backgrounds, and you're healing those childhood wounds, maybe wounds around creativity. Some of you guys couldn't even be creative because you didn't have the money when you were a kid. Like you couldn't do, if your creativity was like involving a computer or something, some sort of expensive material, or even if it wasn't expensive material, it was just material that you couldn't get your hands on, or like maybe it was taboo, so it wasn't really something that you could easily have around you. Whatever it was, you had circumstances around you when you were a child that impacted the abundance of something, right? Whether it was the abundance of resources, the abundance of opportunity, whatever. And it very deeply traumatized you. It happened when you were so young, or it was so sad for you that it traumatized you. And now you're healing from it, because it re-manifested itself in a cycle, and you're finally completing that cycle, because it goes from the 3 to the 10 of Air. And I think it's not even finally. I think you already completed the cycle, but now you're realizing where it came from, and it came from a trauma. It was born out of a trauma. It was this whole situation. Maybe if you had something tough happen, it was born to open you up and make you see that there was a trauma that you had experienced, that your inner child did. Okay, especially around creativity and expression. All right. So that's very interesting, but there's a lot of healing taking place. And it feels like healing from feeling lack. Whether it was not fully expressing yourself, or, you know, kind of maybe stuffing down your emotions, or just being angry about the way things went for you. Okay, the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is reversed though. So there's a little bit of like healing that needed to take place, emotional release that needed to happen in balance. This Queen of Cups reversed could also be very codependent. It's also feeling as though maybe you couldn't, you know, survive on your own, sustain yourself on your own, healing those wounds as well. Ten of Swords is here reversed, so, you know, it definitely didn't come easy. I don't know why I feel like I want to harp on that. I don't know why I feel like I want to talk more about it. But I feel like the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Fire. Oh, some of you guys may have made attempts to make changes, and the changes that you made to come out of the situation of lack will also induce more trauma. And you're healing that pain, because I think some of you guys had some anger. And so if you had a lot of anger before when it came to your finances, just know that, or just frustration, right? And it's really like, if you really take a deep look at it, it's deeper than just the money. And what it is like what's laid out in front of you. So this would be an example of a spiritual career reading, because this is very spiritual, but it's impacting your career. Right? Either way, finances are turning around. Coming back after either a fall or a difficult change, or a difficult change, and then acquiring, and then Aquarius, I just think you've been through enough financially. I think you've been through enough. But thank God that's over, right? Now, the Ten of Swords is still here because there is some emotions that need to be processed. So go ahead and feel those feelings and acknowledge when they come up, okay? And it will come out, so it can be released. And then, then you can move forward. But there are some regrets that are still lingering around that situation that you need to release. All right, so what's the first focus, or what's the first card you want to bring upon, or you want to show me that Aquarius will be focusing on in the month of October 2020 in career and finance? And it's the Five of Cups reversed, so projects that didn't go right. This feels like kind of going back to the past. Things that didn't go well, but it's so you can free yourself of limiting beliefs, obviously. But it's just things that didn't go right. Maybe investments that were a waste. Lost effort, regrets, trying and failing and all that stuff. The list goes on and on. Okay, but it feels like it's more pain around Mother Nature and Mother Sustenance. I feel like some of you guys felt like Mother Nature didn't sustain you the way that you wanted to be sustained, and as a result, there's some deep residual wounds left back as a result that's trying to be healed. There's a lot of regret here, and just emotions. There's a lot of emotion, so it definitely had to be something that it's either you're doing something that you love to do, or it hasn't been an easy road to get from where you are or where you were to where you are now in your career or with your finances. Okay, the Five of Pentacles, you've done loss. You've done bankruptcy, you've done job loss, you've done money loss, you've done being broke, you've been a beggar, you've been a worker, you've cleaned toilets, you've done all that, right? And as along the way, you pick up wounds and you pick up hurt, and you come face to face with that, and sometimes things trigger and compound it. That's what it feels like. It feels like this month is really a month to deal with those compound issues around your career and your finances. That's what you're doing. And you're doing it because it's affecting your ability to move forward. If you don't do it, it's hard for you to move forward, or you almost feel like you cannot divine your way forward. You can't move, you can't see. It's a king of air is showing up here, and that's you guys. So you almost don't even feel like yourself until you do this, or unless you do this. Because you can't see clearly, it's cloudy. Because you've got all this emotion, which is natural. But when you got all this emotion, it's kind of hard to see. When you're crying, you can't really see. After you cry, you see so clear, right? But while you're crying, or if you're stuffing back tears and your eyes are watery and red and all that stuff, you really are not seeing everything clearly. Well, once you cry, then you see clear, right? So you gotta kind of deal with these emotions. You gotta let this stuff go. You gotta let go of some pain here. Okay, it made you who you were, and it made you abundant. Some of you guys are not abundant. Some of you guys aren't yet, right? Aren't where you want to be financially or career-wise, but you're going there. But a lot of you guys have reached a certain level of abundance that you didn't have before. Okay, and then other energy we have here is the moon. The moon. So things are happening behind the scenes, my love. Lots of things are happening behind the scenes. Things you can't really see. And I feel like some of you guys are feeling it too. You can feel it. You guys are saying like, oh, I have a hunch. I feel like something's coming. And something is coming, Aquarius. Okay? The Star and the Three of Earth. So yes, something is coming. You're definitely getting correspondence from the universe with the Star. The Star is always the universe communicating with you and giving you hope and giving you signs and guidance. So that's definitely what I see here, but I also see something coming to fruition, because the Three of Pentacles also talks about things kind of in the groundwork in that small little baby stage, and it's kind of accumulating itself and getting to a point. So something you're working on, it's growing, okay? And okay, so it's growing, and you're getting a lot of signs and synchronicity. So trust those signs that you're getting, because it is true, and you really are, something really is blooming and growing here, and it really is coming from the universe. The star and the moon, these are divine messages. These are universal messages. These are celestial bodied messages. And it's showing up here because of the Queen of Earth. So it's showing up, to ground some of you guys, so you guys know that it's a sign for a lot of you guys, because some of you guys, most of you guys who are watching this, you're already getting these messages and you're already seeing these signs. And so this is just confirmation that the signs you're seeing, they're real, and it really is just telling you that something is kind of putting itself together, and it's gathering itself, and it's working itself out, and it's going to be delivered to you, and you're going to see it. It's going to manifest itself. After the moon comes the sun, and the sun is a manifestation. We've got 17, 18. Only card we're missing here is number 19, right? And then we've got the Holy Trinity, right? That's manifestation power, those three. So the moon, something is cooking in your career and finance, and you know what it is, so trust the signs. All right, and what's the third and final focus we're going to be looking at for Aquarius in October 2020 in regards to their career and finance? And we have the Tower. Not a bad card to end off your career and financial sector in. Not a bad card at all. Who does not like the Tower? I don't know. I like the Tower a lot. So that is a tearing down of an old paradigm. Things no longer being the same. Freeing yourself from limiting beliefs, limiting shackles, oppressive regimes and systems that don't serve you and that you work to serve another. You know, you're freeing your mind. Yes, the Hermit. Freeing your mind, my dear. The Hermit, and wouldn't you know, Hijab air or the Page of Air. So freeing your mind. I mean, completely taking back your mental power. Like not doing things you don't want to do for money just because someone says that you're supposed to. And it's different for all of you guys. You guys have all been dealing with whatever this was, right? But it has to do with oppressive regimes is one thing I'm mainly getting. So whether it's people who oppress people from coming up in their career, or people who try to dissuade people from doing what they want to do by, you know, coercing them in a certain way, or putting down and spinning upon the things that they really want. You know, those are oppressive narcissistic regimes. So it's talking about lack of confidence. So these things seek to tear down your self-confidence. These things seek to take down your self-confidence, and that's the only way that these things can prosper, is when you don't believe in yourself. And so that Tower moment, that revelation moment, that realization moment, that tearing down of the old paradigm moment, it may have already been a long time coming. It may have been happening slowly, or it may just really hit you in the face in October. Either way, it's good because it leads you down a new course of study, an entire new interest. Some of you guys could have, if you're looking for a career, this may be a potential path for you to go down in your career. Some of you guys, if you already have a career, this is expanding your career, it's expanding your business, it's expanding what you do. Okay, but there is a limiting belief system that's leaving your life that only existed because you didn't have confidence. That's it. And you're going to know what it is, and it's going to make perfect sense. Whatever it was, it only existed because you didn't believe in yourself. Justice. And justice will be served with this. They keep showing me justice, so I know I think that they're saying justice will be served. So just trust that you're going to get your justice. And you're showing me this because of the Four of Cups, so some of you guys are kind of like dissatisfied with something. Like you're dissatisfied with the way something is. And you're like not wanting to trust, but they're telling you to just keep going, like to the end, because that's coming for you. But you're also realizing and freeing yourself of an oppressive regime or belief system, or oppressive system. Okay. So let me put these cards away. Okay. So you guys, that is your career reading for the month of October 2020. What a lovely reading. Very nice, very nice. Very relaxing. And I'm really excited to see what happens on the floor on Earth in October 2020 for you guys. So don't go anywhere. We got one more section to go, and that's our oracle part. This month we'll be pulling a beautiful flower oracle message for you guys, so stay tuned. But before we pull that card for y'all, we're going to take a short break. So please enjoy these videos from our video sponsors, and we will be right back. Okay, so let's pull our flower oracle card, shall we? Okay, my loves, we're back. So I went ahead and shuffled our gorgeous deck, and we got one beautiful card that I haven't seen yet. I'm excited to see what it is. And what do we have for you guys, Aquarius? We have the red rose. So beautiful. I mean, I never really get this card, but it's always such a beautiful sign to get this card. And the message of it is hidden secrets. So wow, Aquarius, there's a hidden secret. 3 things cannot be hidden long: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So for those of you guys in love who are kind of like not feeling like something is not revealed, the truth will come out. Don't worry, it is coming to light. And remember, the moon, the sun, and the truth. And remember, we have the moon here, right? The moon in your career and your finances as well. So there is a really serious truth that the moon is communicating to you. It's very truthful. It's true what the moon's saying. And also, for those of you guys looking for truth, the truth will come out. And those of you guys looking for the sun, for happiness, for positivity, for positive manifestation, that can't be hidden either. So the moon, which is your intuition, can't be hidden. Your intuition is speaking to you. The truth, which is what you've been looking for, you're going to get that. That can't be hidden from you either. And the sun, which is, you know, what you're looking for after such a tough time, financially especially, or even in love, whatever, you're looking for the sun. And that can't be hidden either for very long. So look at that. All 3 things are coming. And that's a quote from Buddha, you guys. So I'm going to read the inspirational message for Red Rose. And here it is. Keeping secrets not only keeps others in the dark, but keeps them at a distance. Always speak your truth, even when you think it may hurt. It's better to make someone cry with the truth than make someone smile with a lie. So there's a truth coming out very, very seriously. Okay? All right, and it doesn't have to be so dark, you guys. I gave you such a huge interpretation of this card. Take the huge one I gave you, and don't worry so much about what's in the book, especially if it bothers you. And just know the truth that you seek is coming out, okay? All right, so Aquarius, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me this month. So excited for the month of October 2020. It's such a spooky month. And who doesn't love this month? It's so festive, and everybody can dress up and have fun, and it's the most creative month of the year. It's also my favorite month. Okay, so I want to thank you guys for checking us out. I want to also remind you guys once again to hit that like button, interact with the video, subscribe. Now's a great time to comment, especially if you made it to this point. You're a real one, you're a day one. So go ahead and comment down below, especially if you made it to this point, and let me know. And then also, if you would like to get a reading just like this one, okay, so exactly like this one, except way more in depth, personalized just for you and for you to have and hold from now and forever, you can check the link in the description bar down below for the personal monthly. It's its own description link, and you know, it's all laid out in front of you when you click the link, okay? So feel free to do that there. And then also, if you'd like to have a look at any of my other services, the link to that is also down below. Feel free to subscribe to the newsletter so you can stay in the know while you're on my website, okay? And last but certainly not least, I am working on a Patreon. I do want it to be perfect. I know it's taking a little bit of time. You'll probably be seeing me definitely weekly on Patreon, so it's definitely a great thing to have if you've been wanting to see more of me, or you just want to connect with me deeper, but you just wanted to see what else was available and you want to just open your plethora of options. You also will be having Patreon very soon to connect with me on there, and I'm so excited about that. So I'm just dropping my little tidbits and hints about my Patreon. And lastly, I know I said lastly was Patreon, but seriously, lastly, if you want to connect with me on any of my other social medias, all the links are in the description bar down below. So informative, and it's exciting because, you know, we get to learn more. So that's all. Please enjoy this month. Have a very spooky month, Aquarius, and we will check back in November. And we might even do a mid-month check-in, you guys. See how I'm feeling by the 15th of October. All right, bye guys. I love you.